Welcome to Shom Machshava on the Daf. Shir sponsor Lui Nishmas Arbi Akosholm Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding Bo Metzia Daf Lamed Hey. The Gemara in the middle of Udalev explains why at times the loivet trusts the malvet and doesn't require him to do a shvuah, but the malvet at that same time will not trust the loivet and will require him to do a shvuah. So says the Gemara, the loivet looks at the malvet and he says that he is doing the Pasuk Tumas Yeshorim Tanchem. Rashi explains, if not that he was Adam Yosher, that he was a trustworthy man, that he's a straightforward, that he doesn't lie, he would now become rich. The fact that Kadosh Baruch Hu made someone rich, that means he's a Yosher. That's what it means, Tumas Yeshorim Tanchem, that he will get a guidance from Shamayim because he's a Yosher. And the Malva looks at the Loive and says the opposite, because the second part of the Pasuk is, V'selef boigdim yashdim. The ones that are not yosher, the ones that are boiged, that they betray, they will not have success. So if the loiva is poor, he needs money, the Malva says most probably he is not someone who is trustworthy, and that's why he's poor. So first of all, the Gemara here is giving us a yesod that the rich, if someone is rich, that means he's a Adam Yosher. And if someone is poor, that can be an indication that he's not Yosher. So the Ben Yoyoda points out right away, that's not every person this way. It's Al Pi Roiv. It goes based on majority. The majority of rich people are Yosher, and the majority of poor people are not Yosher. And he brings a siman l'dover that the letters Aleph Beis mean Emunah Bracha. Someone who you can trust, that has Emunah, that you can rely on, bracha, that brings bracha to the house. Gimel Daled, Gneva Dolus, someone who's not trustworthy, he's a thief, so that he will become poor. Ganov has Dalus. And what the Ben Yoyoda seems to say, it's not a roiv based on numbers, but it means that Ashirus is a good indication that someone is a Yosher. And Dalus is an indication that someone you could expect him that maybe he is a Ganov. Not that the roiv cases of someone who's poor is a ganaf, but that there is some what to rely on, that the Malva says, I need you to do a shvuah, I can't just trust your word. One important ha'orah that comes out from this Gemara, just to explain the Pasuk. Because these Psukim are brought down another place. They're brought down Maseches Shabbos Dapeches. There the Gemara brings a story that Rava was sitting and learning, and he didn't realize that he was sitting on his finger and he was causing his finger to bleed. So came a tzduki and saw him and he said, you're Amo Pezizo. You rushed into receiving the Torah. You said, Na'aseh v'nishma. You accepted the Torah without knowing what says in it. So Rava answers him and says, we didn't ask questions and accepted the Torah the way it is. By us it says the Pasuk, Tumas Yeshorim Tanchem. Because we're going bitmimus without asking too many questions. But you guys, you the tzdukim, that you don't not so comfortable, you have all kinds of questions. You're going with aliluso. On you the pasuk says v'selef boigdim yashdim. And as many of the Mefarshim point out, Am Yisrael that accepted the Torah bitmimus without asking questions, they have the special siyata d'shmaya and connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But you, anybody who asks too many questions, one who does not say Na'aseh v'nishma, so by him, the only thing is it will be a richuk for HaKadosh Baruch Hu and a failure to connect to Hashem. So the interesting thing is that the Gemara there on Shabbos is darshan the same Pasuk in the darshan over here, but there it's regarding tamimus. There it's regarding not asking too many questions, just doing the right thing without trying to find excuses not to keep the Torah. And here we're talking about Yashus. Here we're talking about someone who is trustworthy. How does these two drushes come together? So from the Vilna Gaon's Pirush on Mishlei, comes out that the answer is Pasuk. Really, there's two things we're talking about here. Even though the Pasuk Shah and the Pasuk is that Tumas Yeshorim, the Tamimus of the Yosher, that will give them the success. But really, there's two different things, it says the Gaon. You have Tumas, Loshen Tamimus. The second thing is Yeshorim, Loshen Yashus. And the Vilna Gaon goes on to say you need both. Because Yashus means you have Yoshia Seichel, you understand well, you try to figure out things. Tamimus means you don't ask too many questions. So when the Torah doesn't make sense, you still have to listen to the Torah. That's what Tamimus adds on the Yashrus. But the Pasuk is speaking about both. So the Pasuk says the one who's a Tamim and the one who's a Yasher, they have Tamchem, a special siyata d'ishmar from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the ones that are the opposite, the Selef, that they're not Tamim, and the Boigdim, that they're not Yasher, so then they have Yishdim, they don't have that connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they don't have the special siyata d'ishmar. So both Nikudus are learned from this Pasuk. And maybe go back to the previous point, maybe that's Pshat, that in order really to have the full Bracha M'Shamayim, we need to have both things, Tamimus and Yashrus. Someone who's rich, there is a raya that he may have both. Someone who's poor, could be he's missing one of both, not necessarily both. But Al-Kulponim, both points are included in this Pasuk. Anyone who wants to join the Shom Machshava email to what's go, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.